Fromsoftware has confirmed that the Bloodborne Remake is coming to PC soon. Is a sentence that many people like me are praying to see every single day. It is no secret that Bloodborne is probably one of the most, if not the most beloved Soulsborne there is. From the deep, dark, Lovecraftian setting to the fluid and rich combat as well as incredibly great DLC, you get a vast amount of beautifully designed maps and weapons. Talking about the weapons, they're all pretty much perfectly designed in my opinion at least. From the saw cleaver to the Tonitrus, my preferred weapon, it was incredible fun playing around with all the different kinds of weapons. And oh my god, the boss designs were incredible. There's barely anything not to love. Waking up in karate, chopping a dog, greeting the most normal British citizen, and fighting Gascoigne was a blast. It was an amazing experience from start to finish, and I couldn't have chosen a better game back in 2015. Which brings me to the next point. 2015. It's been 7 years since we heard anything about Bloodborne at all. We have seen a Dark Souls remaster, we have seen a Demon Souls remake, we have seen a second version of Dark Souls 2. So where's Bloodborne? What happened? I believe I don't have to bring up the question if the game flopped. It had sold over 2 million copies in 2015 alone and received many rewards. Even now, 7 years later, people are still begging for a remaster or anything actually. Do you remember when Sony posted a picture of the Bloodborne as a teaser only to then delete it? The internet was in an uproar. The community is still picking their teeth after devouring the poor intern that pushed the Bloodborne button. It was a wild day. To this day, the community has barely died down, and even the ones that aren't actively participating in it anymore would probably still be hyped as high heaven if anything with Bloodborne ever got announced. Some insider sources say that Fromsoftware just doesn't have the time, which, you know, that sort of makes sense. With the development of Elden Ring, arguably their biggest IP ever, they got their entire hands full probably working on DLC right now. But I'm not entirely convinced by the statement. Could they not just outsource it like they did with the Demon Souls remake? It wouldn't have to be as big of a project as that. It could literally just be a port to a new generation consoles and PC, and we would most likely be happy for a while at least. By now, I believe that they would rather announce an Elden Ring remaster than a Bloodborne rework.
What the hell is this?
Another reason I heard was that it could be an issue with the licensing. As you may or may not know, Bloodborne first started as an idea pitched by Sony Japan Studio, a studio that has since been pretty much dissolved. However, Sony still owns the game, though this makes me question why Sony hasn't at least done a bad PC port of Bloodborne to cash in the big bucks. Let's be honest, no matter how bad it would be, we would all still buy it and then just wait for community patches. But maybe there's more behind it that I'm not really seeing with the licensing. I have no idea, honestly. However, I think I have found the official reason why we have not heard anything about a Bloodborne remaster so far. There's one very crucial detail missing in everybody's speculations, and I believe me, Joe Bandon, is gonna be the first person to reveal this. Feet. There are barely, if any, feet at all in the game. The doll accompanying you in the Hunter stream till the bitter end, she's wearing boots. There's no big mommy stomping around in her bare tootsies. And I believe this to be Sony's fault. They have limited Miyazaki. When he pitched the idea of the final boss being the doll 3 times as large and barefoot, Sony declined. Frustrated beyond belief, he finished the game, only to never bring it up ever again, seeing as it's his greatest failure, yet his biggest success. So if you think about getting Bloodborne trending on Twitter again to get Fromsoftware's attention, think again. Think how Miyazaki must feel witnessing his greatest shame over and over again. F in the chat for Miyazaki. The F stands for feet.